I'm Mayor Andy Letham. I'm here with Paramedic Chief Randy Mellow, and we're going to do something a little bit differently. I'm going to interview Chief Mellow, and we're going to have a bit of a discussion on our emergency services and our local, from a local healthcare perspective. So let's get started. Welcome, Chief. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, appreciate it. So you're with the City of Kawartha Lakes on a shared, what they call a shared service agreement. I know it's very recent. We've come into a bit of an agreement with Peterborough County. I'm just wondering if you can expand a little bit on that for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a unique opportunity, I think, and it's in Ontario. It's fairly, as I said, unique, and I think it's something that's in response to trying to be modern and to build modern paramedic services. So for a period of time, I'm actually doing a dual role, chief of both paramedics in Peterborough and paramedics here in Kawartha Lakes. And as we're doing that, we're looking at opportunities where we can continue to grow and collaborate together. Those two services have worked together. I've said before, people have heard me say a decade of collaboration, and we're building on that, finding ways that we can be more modern and more efficient to move our paramedic services forward as we need to for the future in our region.
And Kawartha Lakes and Peterborough have a lot of similarities. So, like you say, they've been sharing ambulances and that cross-border sort of cooperation between hospitals and such for quite a while. It's not really new.
No, that's not really new. The deployment strategies have been shared for many, many years. There are very few paramedic services in Ontario that share deployment strategies the way we do. We have a common deployment plan. We've worked together for many years on that. We're taking it a step further to see how together we can be stronger and more modern. Smaller paramedic services like Peterborough and Kawartha Lakes, I think, need to band together to actually to meet the needs of the future of paramedicine. We're growing fast. It's an amazing time for us. And I think, to be able to take advantage of an opportunity of collaboration like we have with Kawartha and Peterborough is it's an amazing opportunity for me and for the communities.
Great. Well, I know Chief Rafton's done a great job filling in. It wasn't his original intent, but he filled in and got us through, probably sorry he did, through this pandemic, but it was a lot of work, a lot of stress, and we're certainly thrilled to have you here and look forward to working together. So
thank you.
Just wonder if we could transition over and talk a little bit about a day in the life of a paramedic in the City of Kawartha Lakes. So obviously I touched on the pandemic. Much has changed over the last 8 months. I wonder if you could just take us through from an operations point of view. What are some of the big differences that you've seen over the last 8 months with keeping in mind the pandemic, obviously?
Yeah, as you said, much has changed. Who would have thought a year ago we'd be in the situation we're in, wearing the personal protective equipment that we have and changing the way we respond. And it's changed so rapidly. I think one of the biggest issues has been that uncertainty from the start. When we spoke about coronavirus, before we even started calling it COVID-19, we spoke about the coronavirus. We didn't know how it was transmitted. We had this invisible threat, invisible enemy, and paramedics have had to adapt to that very, very quickly. And I'm really amazed at how the medics here in the Kawarthas have done that. They've adapted the way they work. It's been only through the dedication of the paramedics we've been able to respond the way we have over the last 8 months.
Yeah, we've got a good bunch. There's no doubt about it. So how do you maintain that day-to-day operation when somebody makes a 911 call and paramedics show up? How has that changed now that we're in the middle of a pandemic?
It really starts right at the dispatch. When the person makes the call to 911, they'll hear a lot of different questions that they didn't normally hear, things about travel history, symptoms related to COVID-19. And I think it's an important message to let people know that does not delay and it does not cause any issue with the paramedics responding. The paramedics are already on their way. Questions are asked in order to allow the paramedics to be as well equipped as they can be to respond. So people will see a difference in the way paramedics approach the scene. They'll be coming to the scene wearing full protective garments. So they'll have goggles or face shields. They'll have masks on. They may even have gowns and gloves. And they'll respond more slowly than maybe they did in the past. They keep a distance until they can ask some safety questions. But all of that is just to make sure that we're not spreading that disease. We're keeping the paramedics and the community safe. The same level of care comes when 911 is called, though.